spinach, which didn't do too great this year. It's already getting flowers and bolting, probably from all the unexpected hot, crazy weather this year. The lettuce is doing awesome. Here's one spinach plant that got mixed in that is bolting. But the lettuce is doing really good this year, really big. Some of the lettuce here is starting to bolt. Same thing with that type, a few different types, but overall really good. These are the carrots, which is overgrown with weedy grass, but you can see the carrots mixed in. We got 3 rows of carrots mixed in here with all the grass, and a volunteer lettuce over there. Oh yeah, in the lettuce bed we have a volunteer squash plant. See him? He started here and he is flowing out over the bed, so I'm not sure what type of squash it is, but we'll find out. I haven't seen any flowers on it yet. This is our onion bed, also overgrowing with weeds. But we have lots of red and white onions in here. I think we have about 80 this year, which is great because I love onions. These are our pepper plants, so they're still pretty small. Last year they didn't really grow very big and they didn't really produce much fruit, so I'm hoping the same thing won't happen this year. These are hot peppers up here. I can see there's a little flower forming, so we'll have to see what happens this year, but hopefully they'll do better than last year. So this year we went crazy with tomatoes. This whole bed is all cherry and grape and, little salad tomatoes. You can see we're getting flowers, but no fruit yet. And then we have one full bed of red Roma and Marzano paste tomatoes. Across the way we have a second bed, so we have lots of tomatoes this year. Sorry about the rooster. These are our peas. We built some trellises out of bamboo for them to climb up. They're starting to get their flowers, so a few different types in here. Next to the peas are some green beans, which are also flowering, so still weeds everywhere. We gotta spend some time in here weeding severely. But yeah, I don't know. The green beans kinda look rough this year too. Again, I think it's because of all the weather, all the heat and crazy up and down temperatures, but they still have flowers, so. And then this bed is all of our other beans. So we have some yellow wax beans, which have flowers, some red kidney beans, some black beans, and the pinto beans way at the end, which really didn't like the heat. But again, they're flowering even though the plants look kind of ugly, so we'll see what happens. Here we have sunflowers that we just stuck in the ground in half of the bed, so they haven't sprouted yet. And then over here we have some spaghetti squash, which is just starting to come up. It looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, at least 6 that sprouted so far, so hopefully we get more. In between all the garden beds we have tons of wild blueberries that are starting to turn blue, so we have lots of those too. This is our experiment bed where we bought some Brussels sprouts. Something has been coming through and eating them, so neem oil hasn't really worked, so I'll have to try something else to try to, stop someone from eating them all. These are the eggplants. We have about 6 of them, so same thing. Last year they didn't really produce very well. Hopefully this year we can make a difference. And then this half of the bed, we just planted some acorn squash in these little wet piles. So again, kind of too early for them to sprout. We'll see what happens. This bed, so we built more trellises, kind of like a pyramid thing. See how it works this year. These are all zucchini plants. So I read that one zucchini plant can produce up to 10 pounds of fruit. So we have, an entire bed that has 3 rows of zucchini, so we're going to be overflowing with zucchini. There is some yellow summer squash mixed in, so it's not all zucchini, but still, we're going to have a lot, hopefully. This bed, same type of teepee system. These are all cucumbers, so we started them indoors. A lot of them didn't transplant, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully everything goes good. More wild blueberries. And then the new addition this year is this bed. This half has pine berries that we mail ordered, that some of them over there, I don't know if you can see, some are starting to sprout, but we'll see what happens. And these are strawberries that came with the pine berries. So as you can see, the strawberries are doing great. They already have flowers on them, which I was not expecting for the first year. So we'll see if we get fruit, but very pleased about the strawberries. Not so happy about the pine berries. Our raspberries from last year are doing great. You can see they're starting to produce their first fruit. We have 3 of those. We also bought, when we got those strawberries, they're sticks right now, but these are yellow raspberries. If you look really close, I don't know if it'll work, they're starting to get hairs on them, so they're growing and doing something, but no leaves yet. We have one little strawberry plant from last year that is doing okay. It hasn't really produced anything yet, but oh, there's like tiny ones. The very last thing we have in the garden is our corn and pumpkins. So again, there's grass everywhere, but this big whole bed, so half of it is corn, that's what all that tall leafy stuff is. This half is, you know, going to be where the pumpkins can sprawl out. Here's one that's just starting, so they're still pretty small. There's another one over here, I think, so we'll see what happens. But that's what we got going on this year in the garden.